Guys, what is going on? Welcome to my live No Mercy review and results video. We're going to take a look and break down all of the action that took place tonight, should I say last night, at No Mercy 2017, which aired live at the Staples Center from Los Angeles, California. So if you're watching this video, thank you for being patient. And like I said, be sure to click the like and subscribe button. And subscribe if you want to see more content on this channel like this. But No Mercy last night, as you can see in the title, that adequately sums up my thoughts on this show. It's funny. From a show going into it that I was really looking forward to the two main events, what I actually got out of this show was I enjoyed the undercard matches more so than the main event itself. The two main events, I should say. The ending was flat and really left a lot to be desired, and I'll talk about that when I get into my thoughts on Braun, Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. But, yeah, just it's funny how maybe when you keep your expectations low and then they are met or, you know, go beyond what you thought, then, you know, it works out in the end. But for those two main events, like I said, just the way that they were hyped up as WrestleMania caliber main events, and then just to see how they delivered, with the lack thereof of delivery. Like I said, I did not like the way that the show just kind of went off the air. It's just like, well, that's it, and we'll see you tomorrow for Raw. It's just like, that was it. It certainly left a lot to be desired, but wasn't a bad show, and actually it was going very well up until the end. Like I said, for the first 2 hours of the show, it was a really good pay-per-view. It was going really well, and then when it hit that last hour, it just slowly began to go downhill. But there was a lot that I did enjoy on this show. Of course, I'll try to highlight the positives as much as I can. So with that, let's get into the pre-show. Did not watch it, but of course, I'll give you the results here. We had Elias Samson versus Apollo Crews. Elias hits the drift away on Apollo Crews for the win. I feel like Elias is slowly getting over in the long run, so I'd like to see him enter into a feud of some type of substance rather than just kind of going nowhere in the mid-card. I mean, I like Elias. I really do. And he's also from Pittsburgh, so that kind of helps. A little hometown bias there. But Apollo Crews, don't know what the hell they're doing with him at this point. Almost forgot he's on the TV show for the amount of time that he gets used. But, yeah, what else can I say here? Elias Samson beats Apollo Crews. Did not see the match. Heard it wasn't really anything too special anyways. So that was that. Let's get into the main portion of the show, the actual card itself. We opened up with the Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz versus Jason Jordan. Now, I thought the match started off slow, but towards the middle portion of the match, like I said, the match picked up nicely. Crowd was slowly getting into it more and more. Of course, you knew going into this match that Jordan was going to have to fend off interference from Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, and that is exactly what happened in this match. Towards the outside, one nice spot in this match was when Jason Jordan belly-to-belly suplexed The Miz into Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. So like I said, the distractions, though, from Axel and Dallas played an effect later on in this match. Bo Dallas came in, but Jason Jordan threw him down to the mat. That led to the referee being distracted, and as Jason Jordan was going to hit his finisher, Jordan rolled up The Miz. Ref was out of position, couldn't count to three. Miz sent Jordan to the ropes, led to Curtis Axel hitting him in the face with a shot, and set up Miz for the skull-crushing finale for the win. I thought it was the right move here to have the Miz retain here. I just thought if you put that title on Jason Jordan, it's once again WWE's booking up too fast, too soon, and just at the time when Jason Jordan, it just isn't working, the storyline between him and Kurt Angle as the illegitimate son of Kurt. I just feel like the crowd isn't buying into him that much either. I mean, he's a really good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take that away from Jason Jordan, but his lack of character and meaning to get behind him, it's not working. It really isn't. Like when he was cutting that promo after the match, I was hoping maybe, he'd kind of stick it to the fans or turn heel, which I feel like is what he needs to do, because it's already been, since July, since this Kurt Angle's My Father storyline been going on. And like I said, outside of the really good matches that he's had with guys like Reigns and Cena I thought tonight's match against Miz was a solid contest. I don't know. I don't know where you go with him, but I think turning him heel and maybe throwing it back in the fans' faces, and then maybe it was all just a setup all along. He was never Kurt Angle. We know he's not Kurt Angle's son, but in the storyline, maybe he could say, "Oh, I fooled you. I fooled Kurt. It was just a ruse, what have you." But yeah, like I said, what they're doing with him now, I just don't feel it's working. So we'll see what they do in the long run. But yeah, it was a solid opening match. I have to say I had no problems with it. And from there, we move on to the next match, which was Finn Bálor versus Bray Wyatt. Man to man, they dubbed this match. Still think that is a dumb tagline. Man to man. Isn't every other match on this card outside of the women man to man matches? Just saying. I didn't like that tagline at all. Although I have to say, I thought these two put on the best match that they've had so far. I thought their match on Raw was just okay. I thought their SummerSlam match was just okay. But I actually thought this was a good match. From the early outset, before the match even began, Bray Wyatt attacked Finn Bálor during his entrance. He threw him into the barricade, took his head, slammed it on the table, and picked up Bálor, slammed him onto the announcer's table. That led to questions of if Bálor could even compete tonight. And then eventually he made it back down to the ring. We had the match bell ring. Match happens. And like I said, I thought these two told a nice story in the ring with Bálor, having to fight and overcome the challenges of the pre-match attack from Bray Wyatt. That story was told throughout a large portion of this match. And really, to no surprise here, Finn Bálor was able to go up to the top rope, hit a coup de grace for the victory, and hopefully end this feud with Bray Wyatt. Like I said, I like both these guys, but the feud that they've had really has just done nothing for me. It's just been kind of there. The story's been kind of muddled. Why would Bray Wyatt even want to go after Finn Bálor in the first place? I really don't know why, what the whole narrative is, and we're pretty much at the end of this feud, so it's just it's been all over the place. It was cool seeing the Demon return at SummerSlam, but outside of that, like I said, this feud just wasn't doing anything for me. For either guy, I feel. So hopefully, maybe we can move Finn Bálor on from Bray Wyatt into perhaps a feud with The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. And what you do with Bray Wyatt, I don't know. Because at this point, he is the eater of pins. I knew he was going to lose this match going in. Like I said, I thought it was a good match. I thought there was some nice spots here and there. Especially when Bálor went up to the top rope and Wyatt did his spider-like walk. And then Finn's just standing there with his mouth open. It was a funny visual, and he's just he's frozen in shock. I thought that was nice right there. But solid match. Like I said, best match that these two have had to date. But I'm happy to see that this feud has finally come to an end. I honestly felt it should have ended after SummerSlam, and this just felt like, well, we don't have anything for these two guys to do, so we're just going to have this feud continue. But like I said, I did enjoy this match. Honestly, this was probably my match of the night right here. It was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Sheamus and Cesaro challenging Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And hashtag Swiss Superman Cesaro is one tough son of a bitch for going in there. And at the early outset of this match, he gets his teeth pretty much kicked out. He loses a whole bunch of teeth in his front row. And holy crap, that was something else. I was like, I can't remember the last time I saw a guy lose that many teeth. It was unreal. I think it happened when I think it was a super kick by Seth Rollins, or Cesaro and Rollins collided head first. I'll have to go back and watch it on the network. But yeah, when I saw that, and I'm like, oh crap, I hope Cesaro's going to be all right. But tough SOB powers through losing his teeth. I mean, frick. I mean, hell, if I lost one of my teeth, I'd be crying and moaning. This guy loses a whole bunch of his teeth, and he finishes the match bloodied and all. This was a really good match. Some good near falls back and forth. Just every time you thought, oh, this is going to be the end of it right here, they keep going. They keep going. Really, the story of this match was Sheamus and Cesaro were able to single-handedly dominate the tag team champions here. I mean, they had a good portion of this match in their control. You know, despite what I said about Cesaro getting bloodied up, at every opportunity, they were able to isolate Dean Ambrose. Like I said, Seth Rollins, they were able to neutralize him. And there was one really nice spot of this match where, like at SummerSlam, you remember when Sheamus and Cesaro were setting up their finisher on Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins goes up to the top rope to attempt to hit a Hurricane Rana. But Cesaro was able to powerbomb Seth Rollins on top of Dean Ambrose. And they kicked out. And that was a really nice near fall there. I thought for sure we were going to have new Raw Tag Team Champions. That was followed up by a double foot stomp from Cesaro onto Seth Rollins. And Sheamus attempted to go for the bro kick. Ambrose was able to roll out of the way. Rollins held onto Cesaro's leg so he couldn't break up the pin. Sheamus bro kicked Cesaro. Rollins hit the ripcord V trigger, and then Dean Ambrose set that up for Dirty Deeds for the win. Retain their Raw Tag Team Championships. You know what? Somebody said it on Twitter. And shout out to, when I get the person's name there, but I'll say the idea right here, right now. It was a really good idea. At TLC next month, what I would like to see these two teams do is to end their feud. I think the perfect way for that would be to have it end in a ladder match. I think a ladder match between Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Sheamus and Cesaro versus Ambrose and Rollins in a ladder match. Boy, I think those two could go out there and have one hell of a match. If you thought what they had here was good, you had the ladder stipulation. And, yeah, that was just a really great idea from this guy on Twitter, #RealBrettVResk. Hope I got that right, but he's the one that gave me the idea, so shout out to him. Always give credit where credit is due. But yeah, easily my match of the night. Like I said, just total nice pace throughout this match. You know, just watching to see how Cesaro would paddle back after losing his front teeth. And like I said, just the way they were able to dominate and control the champions throughout a large portion of this match. It was some really good stuff. Really good stuff indeed. But this was good. This was definitely the high point of the show. And like I said, the show kept going. The Raw Women's Fatal 5-Way match for the Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Emma, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. I thought this was another good match. Like I said, I enjoyed these first 2 hours of the pay-per-view immensely. This was definitely, I have to say, one of Nia Jax's best outings on pay-per-view. She looked dominant and unstoppable the way that she was just moving around there, ragdolling people. She picked up both Bayley and Sasha Banks for a double Samoan drop. She really manhandled Alexa Bliss, too. Was just throwing her around, hitting splashes onto both, I believe it was Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks into the corner. And there was a nice move where I believe it was Bayley who was trying to powerbomb Nia Jax on the outside. Eventually Sasha Banks came over, and Emma and Alexa Bliss were able to get Nia Jax and knock her off the ring apron. And I thought for sure she almost landed on her neck, but thankfully she didn't, because that obviously could have ended badly. But that was a nice spot, using all the women in the ring. And to my surprise, I thought for sure that Emma was going to eat the pin in this match. That was the only reason that Emma was in this match. But as Nia Jax attempted to powerbomb Emma off the ring apron, like I said here, let's see. Alexa Bliss eventually attacked Sasha Banks, and Banks tried to lock in the Banks statement. Bayley was able to break up the pin. She hit the Bayley to belly on Alexa Bliss. Banks broke up that pin. Eventually, Nia Jax got back into the ring. She hit a splash on Bayley in the corner, hit the leg drop on Sasha Banks. Emma was able to break up that pin. Jax missed a running shoulder block in the corner, and that's where Bliss hit the DDT on Bayley for the win. So Bayley was actually the one to take the pinfall here, which I'm fine with. You need to rebuild Bayley. You need to rehab Bayley, build her back up as the underdog, make her work her way from the bottom all the way to the top. So you know what? She eats the pin here. That's probably okay for her in the long run. I'm not going to complain about it. And like I said, I predicted that Emma would take the pin. And I wasn't too surprised here to see Alexa Bliss walk out with that championship due to the fact that we now know on this show tonight, it was announced that Asuka will be making her debut at the TLC pay-per-view. So I sense an impending collision, whether it's between Nia Jax as champion or Alexa Bliss. I think next month we'll see Nia versus Alexa for the Raw Women's Champion, just me looking down the line for TLC. And then that'll set up the opponent for who Asuka will challenge for, probably at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, if I had to guess. But yeah, this was a really good... It was a solid, I wouldn't say really good. It was solid. A solid Raw Fatal 5-Way Women's Championship match. Like I said, I thought all women, they maximized their minutes. And Nia Jax really was I thought the one who looked the best coming out of this match. And then from there, we get into the first of our two double main events. We had Roman Reigns versus John Cena. First time ever, and immediately, as soon as the match begins, you knew the crowd was going to let them have it. So they both chanted, "You both suck." And then I actually found this part funny. When Cena heard that, he's just like, "Oh, okay, we both suck. I'm going to leave then." And I'm like thinking, what the hell was Cena doing? So he starts walking up the ramp. So Reigns runs up to him, and they eventually get back down to the ring, and we proceed to have the match. Now, the match itself I thought was good, but not great. I did not like the overabundance of use of the attitude adjustment. 4 AAs and a super AA off the top rope on a Roman Reigns, and then what? All it took was one spear to beat Cena. It's like, okay. I just don't like this. I mean, the AA has been so watered down to this point. It's comical. Like, as soon as he hit that first AA, I instantly know he's probably going to kick out. When he hits that second AA, he's probably going to kick out. He might beat him with a third AA, but he's probably going to kick out. Fourth AA, super AA, off the top rope, kicks out. And it's just like, okay. I don't like to see, multiple finishing maneuvers used in a match. It takes me back to, it wasn't as bad as Rock Cena 2 at WrestleMania, where all they did was AA, counter, rock bottom, AA, counter, rock bottom, counter into the AA. It was just like back and forth. Like, it wasn't to that level bad, but, 4 AAs in this match, it's just like, really? He's got to get a new finishing move. It's just like, my goodness. But probably my highlight of the match was the super AA off the top rope. These guys proceeded to also throw each other into all of the steel steps. Cena set up Reigns for another AA on the announcer's table outside the ring, but Reigns was able to spear Cena through the Spanish announcer's table. That was another nice spot there. Like I said, bunch of AA counters, kickouts, and Cena turned around, ran right into the Superman punch. Reigns hits the spear, and it's over. So Roman Reigns wins. No sign of any type of heel turn possibly happening, or I don't know. I thought maybe there would be a chance, but I get my hopes up every time. Maybe Reigns loses, he gets frustrated, takes it out on Cena, but no, he beats Cena with a spear. They hug, they shake hands, they love each other. All is right in the world. We all know what Vince is doing backstage, but we'll leave that up. We'll leave that for Vince. We're not going to talk about it. But good match. Nothing great. Nothing amazing. Like I said, to me, it was hurt by all of the AA kickouts. Like I said, that move just needs to be deleted from Cena's repertoire. And then afterwards, Cena teased saying goodbye. He just kind of stood there, looked at the crowd, then kind of slowly made his way to the back. And the crowd actually chanted, "Thank you, Cena," which I cannot tell you the last time I heard that happen. It's been a long time. I definitely think we're coming to the end of Cena's run here. I think he's closer to the end than we all think. And the reason I say that is just due to the fact of how they've burned through a lot of these matches. Shinsuke Nakamura, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. I mean, something's up. Maybe there's a chance that tells me that at WrestleMania, or I'd say by WrestleMania, maybe. I don't know if Cena would call quits after WrestleMania. Something tells me, though, it's something not to, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's something to keep in mind, is what I'm trying to say. So don't be surprised if it would happen. Because like I said, just the rate they're burning through these opponents, something's up to me. But I guess we'll see what happens. Obviously, Cena's going on another break. I don't expect to see him until probably Royal Rumble time. That'll be the next time we'll see him, if I had to make a guess. And then after this, we had Kurt Angle talk to The Miz. Apparently tonight on Raw, we're going to have Miz TV with Roman Reigns. Exciting. We have our Cruiserweight Championship match, Neville versus Enzo Amore. And you know how Neville was made to look dominant and unstoppable as a Cruiserweight champion, and Enzo was made to look as the complete opposite, pretty much a joke? And how that all got flushed down the drain last night when, despite getting his ass kicked for a large majority of the match and looking like a loser for how many week after week after week, Enzo Amore cheats. He kicked Neville between the legs in the nuts as the referee's back was turned, as he had the Cruiserweight title in his hands. And he pins Neville, and he beats Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. Bravo. Bravo, WWE. As if I didn't care about the Cruiserweight division as it is. I don't watch 205 Live as it is. Now you put the title on Enzo Amore, and you think I'm going to watch now? Rest in peace to 205 Live in the Cruiserweight division. It is officially dead, as if it wasn't already. We were on life support. Now it is dead and buried. So I would just like to have a moment of silence for 205 Live in the Cruiserweight division. Rest in peace. What can I say? This match was just... it was not good at all. And I felt bad for Neville having to go in there and just try and do his best. But even Neville, even the great Neville, couldn't even save this mess. I hope they move him out of the Cruiserweight division. I hope they just get rid of the Cruiserweight division. Honestly, at this point, get rid of 205 Live. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Because you really think I'm going to care after last night? I am not. So that was very disappointing. And I guess it was the match I expected them. I would have rather have seen a quick squash match. One and done. Under 5 minutes, Neville wins, moves on. Something told me that Enzo was going to get the win. Something told me. And look what happened. And speaking of disappointing, this is a nice segue into the Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Early on, Strowman takes it to Lesnar. He just hits him with a running power slam. Strowman splashes onto Lesnar as it was really all Braun Strowman early on in this match. He got kind of busted open underneath his cheek. And like I said, I liked the way that this match started. And then the momentum kind of shifted back in the favor of Brock. He tried to suplex Braun Strowman, but he instantly no-sold that. Eventually, he hit 5 or 6 German suplexes on Braun Strowman. He picked him up, and Strowman was actually able to hit a running power slam. Couldn't get the cover. Hit another running power slam on Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar kicked out. And then all it took was one F5 from Brock Lesnar, and he beat Braun Strowman. And he retains the Universal Championship. So I really thought, the match started off good, and then as it was going, I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's see if it picks up into another gear. These two are going to destroy tables and just beat the holy shit out of each other, and we didn't really get that. It just kind of went, okay, F5, we're done. Good night. I was like, what? That's it? Just the way that they... So Lesnar kicks out of the running power slam. Yet Strowman can't kick out a 1 F5. I just thought that made him look weak. Honestly, even if you have Strowman lose, but after a hard-fought competitive match, once again with a Lesnar match, I felt like it just kind of ended and there could have been so much more. And instead of getting more, we got less. And it's like, who cares if the pay-per-view goes past 11 o'clock? In this instant, it was like they wanted to get done by 11. Usually they're going beyond 11, and the show actually ended on time. But it was just, I don't even know how long the match went, but it couldn't have been that long. Honestly, I'd have to say it was under 7 minutes. Let's look at the time of the match. Okay, it went 9 minutes, but could have easily have gone another 5 or 6, or hell, even 7. Like I said, it just ended. Lesnar wins. Feel like it hurts the momentum of Braun Strowman. And we obviously know what the plan's going to be. Could easily predict this shit. Lesnar will go away for 3 to 4 months probably. You won't see him for a while. I'd be shocked. Then Roman wins the Royal Rumble. There's your setup for WrestleMania. All the way to April. Roman wins the Universal Championship. It's just like, wow. Okay. That's your plan. You're sticking to it. I thought timing's right. Lesnar's going away. You're not going to have a champion around. So instead of doing that, what do? You keep the title on Lesnar. You won't be seeing that Universal Championship on your flagship show, which I think is a mistake. It should not be on a part-timer. I wasn't okay with Lesnar not defending it in May, in June, and then he finally came back. We didn't have a defense until July. But I enjoyed from July, August, and until now. Fine, take the title off him, put it on Strowman. Then if you got to have him drop it back, that's fine. Lesnar comes back, gets a rematch. Then you put the title back on Lesnar. But that way we don't have a gap for a number of months without a Universal Champion on Raw, and they didn't do that. I don't like that. So now what are you going to do? Who's going to be the top title on Raw? Intercontinental Championship? Because you know that Brock's going to take a break. And I disagree with that. I think it was the wrong move to make. The timing now was right. Put that title on Braun, give him a run with it, and see how he does. What's the harm in seeing? What are you going to lose? Probably nothing. But they have their plans, and that certainly showed through tonight. So like I said, mixed bag when it comes to No Mercy. A solid undercard with a disappointing main event. Very disappointing. Cena Reigns was all right. Did not like the Neville Enzo Amore match. And like I said, main event really left a bad taste in my mouth. But if I had to give a grade for this pay-per-view, it is a B. But could have been so much better. Definitely could have been so much better. So that is it, guys, for my live No Mercy review. I want to say thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. And be on the lookout for me on my next video, whenever that may be. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGuys412. So until then, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.